Hello everyone, welcome back to another session with me, Sanyukta Saxena. I hope you're enjoying the sessions and tangling along with me. I know many of you are. So today's string, we are already drawn for Zendalas, and this is the string for today, right? So as you're aware, you must be aware, I have already floated the strings on my Facebook page and Insta. But just in case you have not been able to draw them, then I'm going to repeat quickly how to draw the string, right? So the strings are not original, they have been picked up from Pinterest, just that what we are doing with the string is something of our own, right? And you're free to use the string again and again and create new tiles every time. Yeah, so I'm going to start drawing the string first. So you can see here there is a series of petal shapes or rice shapes here, right? So I'm going to just add again a circle and for my reference, right? So that my petal shapes are on that circle, right? So how many of them? There are about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 petals, right? So just going to add these petal shapes freehand. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Yeah, so we are done with this part. Now you can see these lines coming from here slanting as the first layer. So what I'm going to do is draw a line like this. Again draw a line. These are lines at somewhat it's an acute angle, right? So just the way I am drawing, you can note, right? So it's a slanting line, again coming from here, joining it here, again coming from here, slanting, again joining it here, again joining it here, joining it here, and like this, right? And then we have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 curves inside. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 curves, right? So that's one part of the string, and then we have these outer curves, right? So about 3/4, and then the second one starts, and these are the points from where it is starting. So 1, then 2, join it here, then 3, join it here, then 4, join it here, then 5, join it here, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, and our string is ready. Yeah, so simple, not that difficult if you follow the sequence, right? So this is the original tile on which I drew the string, and now I'm going to start tangling right away. Now you have a space in the center. There are a whole lot of tangles that you can choose from, right? You can draw simple circles or nipa, or you can draw ravel, you can just fill in with tipples, right? So many tangles. So I'm just going to put in a Diva dance flower here. Yeah, I feel like doing that, so I'm starting with the Diva dance flower, right? This is called Diva Dance Rock and Roll. It's a Zentangle original. Basically a tangle by CZT Laura, which has been included in the Zentangle's official list because it is such a nice and versatile tangle. Yeah. So I have done a lot on Diva dance, about 4 or 5 videos specially dedicated to Diva dance. So you might want to have a look on those videos if you are new to the tangle. Yeah, so there are so many versions of it. You can draw it in different ways, you can use it in different ways. So what I'm doing is just closely adding auras and adding these humps in between, continuing to aura, again adding some humps, right? Again continuing to aura, coming back, adding some hums, right? So these are bold inked spaces. You can call it humps, you can call it bumps, whatever you want to call it, but they are bold inks which add a lot to the look of the tangle, and the rest of it is only auras. Again, a tangle which emphasizes the importance of auraing in Zentangle. Yeah, beginning with my auras. So basically you have to see the spaces that you have to fill in, what will look more what will look better in a particular space. Also there are a whole lot of tangles that you can choose. As I mentioned, you can use ravel, you can use just tipple, you can use so many other tangles here, 5 or anything, any grid based tangle. Even Knightsbridge will look very nice in the center when you shade it on the corners, right? So that 3D effect, if you want, you can do that with Knightsbridge. So choose a tangle that you wish to, or you can tangle along with me. That's always a option. Yeah. And so many of you have done it so beautifully, much better than what I have done on the video, and I really feel proud. Yeah. So give it your personal touch, make it your own. Do small little things here and there as you tangle along with me, right? So just about to complete my Diva dance flower. Yeah. Now we have these shapes. So I'm just going to ink these shapes first. Right. So you can add, depending on the shape, you can choose your tangle. So the shape looks right for crescent moon, however you always have a choice, right? So let's see, I'll go with crescent moon. I'll start with crescent moon, but probably I will add some petal shapes to the last aura instead of lines. Yeah. So it is a nice break from the usual crescent moon. Yeah, and you can always add a little ink at these corners. Yeah, again 2 auras, and then add some petals. This is again crescent moon only, just that instead of inking and auraing, just adding auras, I converted it into a flower shape or a petal shape, right? So starts with crescent moon only. Right? So I'll just do that exercise. For the remaining 3. So I'm now moving on to the next section, right? So you can see the shape of this section, yeah, tongue twister kind of thing, shape of this section. So it is somewhat inspiring me to go with a pattern called Betweed. Yeah. So although it is a triangular shape and you can use a whole lot of tangles, but I feel like using this shape for the tangle Betweed, like this. Yeah. So I'll remove the markers and again start the same way here. Betweed is one of the first few tangles that I released a video on. Again, line from both the sides with the weight at the end. So we have drawn these lines many times with weight, but Betweed is more about how you're drawing the lines. It's the arrangement of lines, right? So again, same thing. I'm going to add the same thing in these spaces. So take your time and slowly add lines starting from these two sides of the triangular shape and add a weight. Yeah. Again, starting from here, add a slight curve. So I'm drawing a kind of flowy line, not a straight, absolute straight line, giving a flow, a slight curve to the line. Yeah. Again, start from here. Just a little weight at the end, not much. Again, yeah. So I'll do the same for all of these sections. Draw Betweed in exactly the same fashion. Yeah. So I'm now on the last section, adding my Betweed to this triangular section. As I mentioned, it is a triangle kind of space, so there are a whole lot of tangles and fragments that you can add. Yeah, so that's Betweed. Now we have these nice fluffy rice kind of shapes, right? So again, up to you, what do you want to add there? Yeah, so I'll just go with a simple fragment here. Draw another rice shape, add few orbs in the center, and then add these auras around the rice shape, right? Like this. Yeah, so I'll do the same exercise again. Added another rice shape, added some orbs inside the rice shape, and then add the auras like this. Yeah, rice shape, some orbs, and some aura. So I'll just continue like this. Take your time and do that exercise for all these puffed up rice shapes. Yeah, a leaf shape, whatever you want to call it. So I am left with the last section now, adding the same rice shape inside the rice shape. Yeah, and adding auras, simple fragment can be used in any kind of a shape. Yeah. So now I am left with the last, right? So in this section, again, depending on the shape, a nice flower shape, petal shape, whatever, just simple lines or even nice, the tangle nice will fit well. So let's do something different here. I'm first going to insert a small orb, something like caviar, and try and fit in the tangle drawings here. It will be a nice deviation from what generally one would do in this section. Yeah, so just missing this part of the line and giving the curve, right? So that's the grid of drawings, and then I'm going to come back like this, right? So simple and delicate tangle. Looks to me like the ornamental drawing of acanthus, right? So I'm first going to draw this, and then we'll see what do we want to do with the spaces in between. Yeah, so I've drawn a small orb. I'll just zoom in a little more, and then drawing this S shape, kind of drawing behind here, again an S shape, an S shape, S shape, S, and again kind of drawing behind here, S. Come back from the back of the S and add these, joining this point to about the center of the preceding S. Yeah, again third one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and kind of drawing behind here, 6. Yeah, so again come down, come down, right? So same exercise for all. Again an S shape. I'm going to switch my pen now. Again an S shape, S shape, yeah. So I'm going to continue like this, right, for all the sections. So I have done the same exercise for all, and now on the last one, drawing the tangle drawings. Yeah, the shapes, and then come back, like this. Yeah, so now the rest of the spaces in between, you can either choose to ink it completely, or you can add these small little orbs that I had started doing, just to see how do they look like. I think it's fine. So I'm going to fill in the spaces in between with these small tipple, like this, right? So just let me do one, and you can continue the same way for all. If you want to ink it completely, entirely up to you. I think even that will look nice. It will add nice drama to your tile, because we haven't really inked anything yet much. Yeah, and this last section, I'm drawing little ones, very small size orbs. This is going to take little time and patience, but ultimately it looks really nice. Yeah, so again, do that exercise for all the sections. So I'm still adding the small little orbs, tipple, small ones. You can see here how the size of the tipple gives it an entirely different look. Yeah, fine tipple, very small in size. Great meditation to fill up these spaces with small little orbs. So take your time and enjoy the steps, the strokes, the orbs, drawn close to each other, touching each other with practically no spaces left in between. Yeah. So no hurry, take your time and fill up these spaces with these small orbs. If you want, you can add bigger ones also. Anyways, it will look nice, just that I like the look a little more here. So I've added the smaller ones. Yeah, last few spaces left. And this last section. Yeah, and we are done. Yeah, so now rest of the space, again you can leave it as it is, or if you want you can just add a touch of marasu and close your tile. Yeah, so I'm just mimicking the outer shape of this tipple or the string, since there is space left on the outside of the tangled area. So just repeating, auraing the shape as it is, right? And just going to add, you can also just go with coffered look, even that will look nice. Let's see. Yeah, so I wanted to add a little inking like marasu, but again it all depends, right? So if it looks nice with coffering, we will not add marasu. It should look nice. So what I did is just auraed the outside of the tile and added these lines at each of the turning points, and now I'm going to shade it as if to give it a coffered look. Yeah, so let's start with our shading now. So what I'm going to do is, as far as the inner section is concerned, add some thick graphite inside. Yeah, so just going to add graphite here. So pushing my pencil hard because I want it really dark. Again, if you want it more dark, then if your pencil is not dark enough, then you can always go with the gray watercolor pencil, as I keep mentioning every time. But I think this pencil is dark enough, so it should suffice my requirement. Why dark? Because I want the center to pop up and the corners to recede. Yeah, done. I'm not going to touch my Diva dance flower here. Again, a soft touch here, not too much. right? As far as your Betweed is concerned, I'm just going to separate it from the rest by highlighting one side of the line. The second side will be highlighted when I shade this. Yeah, so just adding graphite on one side. Like this. Yeah, now the second one, again add on both sides, but don't add too much. You don't want the entire rice shape to go gray. As I always keep saying, both white and black should be visible, should be discreet. Only when both are seen does the shading gives the required effect, the dimension, the depth. Yeah, and then around the orb, as far as the drawings is concerned, again drawings are pretty small, so don't add too much. Little bit around the orbs. Yeah, and then on both sides of these lines. So you can add a coffered look to about anything. It's a very nice tangle enhancing technique. I'm not sure if you have still taken or bought the course, the intermediate level course on Udemy, my course. Right, it talks about all the tangle enhancing techniques at one place. So that's the beauty of the course. You need not refer 10 places, and one place, one course, you are sorted, and you know what is tangle enhancing technique or technique based tangles and many more things, right? So you might want to consider buying the course. It will really help you further your practice. So I'm now blending. Yeah, you can see how darkening the edges has added so much to the center, and keep the center the same way, right? Again, a soft touch here. Don't blend too much. I've not added graphite here. Yeah. Circular movements is always nice to blend the graphite well. Again, blending one side of my Betweed. So take your time, don't haste up as you shade your tile. If you are tired of tangling, take a break, come back to it for shading, because shading requires at times even more time than you spend on tangling, right? So give it that time. Next is both sides of this eye. Looks like eye to me, just that the eyeball is weird. Yeah, these tangles, patterns, they are all inspired from nature. Sea creatures, plants, animals, so many things. So you will always find resemblances, but then they have broken it down in such a way that they can be drawn very easily with very simple strokes. And by the time they are broken down into a tangle, that resemblance is generally gone, although some places you may find it. You may relate to the shape, right? So just blending my I'm not doing anything to the wings, they are very small. If I try to do something to the wings, I think they will go grey totally. And then finally the coffered look. We already know how to shade it. Shade from both the sides and leave a highlight in the center. Yeah. You can see how beautiful it looks. A very nice tangle enhancing technique which can be added to almost any tangle or shape to enhance its look. Just blend, keep the edges, keep the sides of the line a little darker. Blend, bring the graphite towards the center, but don't cover the center. Keep the center white like a highlight. Yeah, just smoothing the graphite. Now I'll use my chalk pencil a little bit, yeah, in the center. Soften the chalk, use a different Tortolon and just soften it. You can use it on both sides of this fragment, just like a shine. You can also break the lines while you're drawing them to give a highlight. That's another way to do the same exercise. Yeah, small little touch here will be, not much. Yeah, I think we are done. If you want, you can add little darkness to the ends here. Without adding too much, because you don't want the drawings to go gray. So just touching a little, add a little depth to the ends. You can also just run through your gray brush pen and add a touch there. Right? So with a very soft hand, I'm just going to soften it. Yeah, and we are done. Yeah, so that's our tile for today. I don't see the need to do anything else. I am going to close it now. Yeah, and sign and date it. Today is 7th of April. So the tangles that I have used today, I'll just quickly put it down for you. I have used Tangle Diva Dance Rock and Roll, Rock and Roll. Yeah, this is Zentangle original. This is the center flower, right? Then this is just a Crescent Moon Tangleation. Right, so I was drawing Crescent Moon, but I added some petals to the last aura. Right, this is again a fragment, right? And then I've used some drawings. This is again Zentangle original, this tangle. In between is tipple. This is again a Zentangle original with some cofree, right? So that's what we used in today's style, and this was the string, and these are the tiles that we have already drawn, right? So I'll see you again with another new session. Till then, have a good time. Bye bye.